Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook. I'm Star Sports editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. GH, Arizona Wildcats facing USC Saturday night at the Coliseum. Sometime Sunday morning after midnight, we'll find out who the better team is. This is a big old game, isn't it?
That Arizona's in position to play this. It's funny, I was thinking of this coming in. Arizona should be 8-0.
Yes.
They should be in the top 10.
I know. Yeah.
And now they play a team that's back on a roll, and so much is at stake for Arizona because they have the 3 hardest games of the year left.
Yes.
Road games at ASU, Oregon, and USC. Are you kidding me?
And if Oregon gets Justin Herbert back, Oregon's good again.
It could be the toughest November they've ever played.
Coming off of, was it the first undefeated October in modern era of Arizona basketball? Football? Since 92. Since the team in 1992. It's incredible. It's incredible. Khalil Tate had another huge performance last week. He's not going to be able to just outrun USC. They've got 7 guys who can chase him down. How do you beat a team like USC?
When Arizona last beat them here, it's because USC had a mess of mistakes. Remember that? That's the only way.
Yep. What about trying to get their defense to be over-aggressive? Is it possible so many people are going to be so geared on Tate that he can do what he did twice last week, which is put his foot in the ground, lob a pass to a tight end, and watch the tight end run?
That's about the only way.
Right.
Because I think if you had Newt Rockne and Vince Lombardi came down from heaven and looked at the personnel of both teams, I think 21 of the starters would be USC guys.
Yes. And then Khalil Tate.
Yeah. To me, he's the only starter.
Maybe Demetrius Flanagan-Foles.
Maybe Chase Whitaker.
They'd
be in the picture.
Right, but
they'd be nickelbacks.
Right, but that's been the nature of Arizona versus USC since time began.
Yeah.
Arizona's not winless against USC all the time. They've managed to pull off a couple of victories, including some in the last 10 years. To me, it's a matter of trying to catch SC flat-footed. Because what we've seen about SC this year is they have all the good players. They are prone to long lapses of terrible play.
And I don't think they were expertly coached.
No.
I think if Vince Lombardi came down and ranked the coaches in the league, I think Clay Helton would be 9 or so.
Okay.
But hasn't USC already had its flat-footed moment this year?
You would think so. And it seems like that happens every year. USC starts off 2-1 and everybody goes, the coach stinks and the quarterback stinks. And then you look up at the end of the year and they're in the Pac-12 title game. Yeah. Right?
They just have players.
Yes.
Players.
They have all the best players. Yeah. Is it simply a matter at SC of making sure, just drawing a border around LA and making sure all the good players stay home?
100%.
Yeah.
But every year you look at their starting lineup and they got a guy from Florida.
Right.
Or a guy from Baltimore or somewhere. Right. But it's mostly, Sarah High School.
Yeah.
Khalil Tate's high school. They had 9 guys from Sarah High School.
Wow.
And they were all 4- and 5-star recruits.
Right. Khalil Tate was thinking of going to USC. He was offered as a safety, and then they came in at the last minute and offered him as a quarterback.
He didn't trust him.
Right. Khalil Tate is a guy who will be very motivated on Saturday. Is there a danger to that, do you think? Because he played against SC last year and it was brutal.
Well, I'm sure they're telling him all week, you don't have to do too much.
Right.
If you try to do too much, you're going to do nothing.
Right.
There's a danger of Arizona getting blown out in this game.
Yeah.
And then coming back, regrouping, beating Oregon State, and then the real work begins at Oregon and at ASU.
Right now, tell me if I'm wrong. Arizona could split its final 4 games, finish 8-4, go to something like the Foster Farms Bowl or the Las Vegas Bowl. Rich Rodriguez would have to be Pac-12 Coach of the Year, wouldn't he?
8-4?
Even at 8-4?
8-4 means he'll either beat Oregon or ASU on the road.
Right.
I think he'd win it, yeah.
Yeah.
Although, if you look at ASU's schedule, they should win the rest of their games.
Yeah.
And then they're 9-3. So Sparky Graham is the Coach of the Year.
Isn't it funny, by the way? We talk all year about all the ebbs and flows of football. It's going to come down to beating ASU, like it always does. Whether you're 3-8 or 8-3, if you don't beat ASU, your season's done.
And we're thinking about USC this week, and we should. But it's ASU, the big eraser down there.
Yeah. Gosh, football's fun.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad that there's a relevance to this football season?
It changed everything about how the community feels about itself, probably.
Probably.
And people in our position, how it makes it more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook. For Greg Hansen, I argue USC is the greatest marching band in the Pac-12. Disagree with me.
I couldn't. I'd have to say they are.
Who's in the conversation?
Nobody.
Okay.
I mean, does any other band in the conference come to mind? ASU's?
No. Kind of like Oregon. I think Oregon's okay.
They got a good song.
They have a great song. Utah's got a great song, too.
Yeah.
What's the
But
name?
I don't know about their marching band.
Utah's fight song is what?
I am a Utah man, sir.
I love this. I love this. We'll see you next time.